Today we're going to find out if Jadelight Spelunker or Mist-Cloaked Herald are a good enough replacement to Mistcaller in Pioneer Merfolk. Welcome, my fish fam. It's Nikachu, Merfolk Master. And long story short, I'm not happy with Mistcaller. I really don't like the position of this card in the deck. Against all the big decks in the format, it's basically just a 1-1, and you would think that it's good versus the Arclight Phoenix deck, except there's a few problems. I mean, first, they can just kill it and then go off next turn with their phoenixes, or they just completely ignore it and they just hard cast their phoenixes, and the Mistcaller just basically does nothing. Biggest problem with Mistcaller is I'd love to play this on turn 1. I need more turn 1 play, so I'm up in the count to 12. I want to have 12 1-drops in the deck so I can really make use of turn 2 Deeproot Pilgrimage. But there's a problem. If I go turn 1 Mistcaller into Deeproot Pilgrimage, I can't attack with this thing. It's just a 1-1 piece of trash. It's basically Merfolk of the Pearl Trident versus like 90% of the format, and there's only one really good deck for Mistcaller to interact with, and that is the Amalia deck. But against Phoenix, it's like it is a bit of a speed bump. It does slow them down, but it's not very meaningful because usually the games slow down post board anyway, and they just run me over. So we need to find some replacements. I want a replacement. We're gonna try both of these in one league. We're gonna try out Mist-Cloaked Herald. It doesn't look like much, but do you know what? It can't be blocked for 1 mana, which I like. So basically, turn 1 Mist-Cloaked Herald, and no matter what my opponent puts in its way, I can go turn 2 Deeproot Pilgrimage and start getting that value with that Deeproot Pilgrimage. Really like that idea. And another card I'd like to play test is Jadelight Spelunker, which it's a bit interesting. So on turn 1, it's a 1-1, just like Mistcaller. So it's no different in that way, but it's got quite a few abilities. It's green and an X. So when Jadelight Spelunker enters the battlefield, it explores X times. So it's a 1-1 on turn 1, but it potentially could be a 2-2 on turn 2. It could be a 3-3 by turn 3. And it's also, while it is still a 1-1 on the earliest turn of the games, on turn 1, it can become something enormous or get good value on turn 7, 8, or 9. So basically, it could be as value-oriented as Sentinel of the Nameless City or Commander Tyrant of Araska when we get to the late game, whereas something like Mistcaller is just stone-cold garbage when we get very far into that late game. Switching around the sideboard a little bit, I would like to playtest Dispel. I don't know if Dispel is going to be better, or maybe, Slip Out the Back, but the purpose is to have a little bit more instant speed, hard interaction versus the Prowess decks and also the Arclight Phoenix decks to be able to protect our creatures, but also interact with them in general. Most of Arclight... Here's the deal. I've moved Spell Pierce out of the deck. Not really a fan of Spell Pierce. You know, I like how it's just overall useful, but at the same time, against the decks I'm having trouble beating, the Prowess decks, the Arclight Phoenix decks, I wanted to get a little bit of an edge. They always have the 2 mana up, all right? When they kill one of my creatures, they are always leaving 2 or more mana up. I'm not happy with Spell Pierce. I'm removing it from the deck, and I think Mystical Dispute and Disdainful Stroke is more than good enough to interact against Niv to Light, the combo decks, the control decks. 7 of those hard, they're not exactly hard counter spells, but they're very strong counter spells. We can do without the Spell Pierce there. So anyway, this is the list we're experimenting with. By the way, there's no Cometa Speaker in this deck, but by all means, I'm not removing it. I'm just trying to find a replacement for Mistcaller. Either it's going to be Mist-Cloaked Herald, Jadelight Spelunker. We're just going to play both of these in the same deck and quicken the play testing process overall. And by the way, if you want a more comprehensive deck tech, I'll have a link to that in the description below. All right, let's get into our league. We won the die roll. We have... It's a hand, I guess. It's mana efficient. Not a little... I've got turn 1 Mist-Cloaked Herald into like turn 2 Vidalian Hexcatcher. And away we go. Hope you like the new hand viewer. Or not hand viewer, sorry, card viewer. So we can see our Mist-Cloaked Herald. And you can read all the new cards. Our opponent plays Temple Garden, tapped, and passes. So this is Amalia. Well, wow, what a time for this card. Well, we do have 2 witness protections, which is good. So because of those witness protections, I think I'm going to be playing our Tide Channel Pathway. We'll even play another Mist-Cloaked Herald, and we'll get in for 4 damage next turn, while still being able to witness protection basically anything our opponent plays. I'm probably going to witness protection anything that they play. Temple Garden tapped is always Amalia. Yeah, we got the Jund colors. We've got Amalia. Welcome, Amalia. Welcome to pain! Witness protection. I'll pay the 3. In fact, I got to pay a little bit more, too. We got the witness protection, which is key to beating these matchups. It's our frog effects. The frog effects. All right, and now unblockable damage. Although I have to admit, I would prefer to have the Mistcaller in this matchup. But we do have a Hex Catcher here, so I mean it's not going to be easy to Court of Calling or a collected company anyway. This is the test. No, I'm not going to block. Not a chance. They might want it in the graveyard. Might be an easy win. Oh, okay. So Amalia is going to chew off one Amalia. Legend rule the other one away, or not. Oh, sorry. You are a legitimate business person. But now there is a weird interaction here. If I witness protection this one, if I witness protection the other Amalia, then there's going to be two legendary witness protection creatures. I'm just wondering, if I attack with everything, would you block my Hex Catcher? Probably not, but maybe. So I attack for 6. It's just, if I attack for 8, I put my opponent down to not lethal anyway. So it looks like it's a 3-turn clock no matter how I slice this. I mean, I could attack with everything. If they block Hexcatcher, would I flash in a Hexcatcher? It's like removal. I'm just concerned about Extraction Specialist coming out next turn. I could Witness Protection attack with... Oh, but he would want me to block for that. Oh, no, but... Okay, if I lower the chord count, that's not bad either. I think. Attack for... Okay, I'm going to let them decide what they want to do, because I do have to put this on here, so I actually don't mind if they block. Because, like, so Legend Rule will eat up one of these things. They have to put one in the graveyard. Opponent's probably confused what's going on here. Now I will attack with everything. There is a block there. So, like, I can't play around Extraction Specialist, so this at least plays around Court of Calling a little bit, because I'm getting more creatures into the graveyard than otherwise. And I'll keep this Cavernous Souls in my hand. So I guess we lose if they go Extraction Specialist, bring back Amalia, and then have Wild Growth Walker on the following turn. There it is. See, this is where Mistcaller would be good, I guess. Okay, Amalia comes back. Ooh, the Spelunker! Which I guess we're going to play for the maximum, because why not? So if we attack with everything, opponent takes 6. If they block, they gain 3 life. That sucks. Ugh. Okay, we have to really hope that they don't have Wild Growth Walker in their hand. I don't know if this is a good option, but if I attacked with everything, they could block with Extraction Specialist and Amalia against my Hex Catchers. I hit them for 6. They go down to 6 because the lifelink of Extraction Specialist. I don't know what to do here. Hope they don't have Wild Growth Walker in their hand. That's what I hope. Okay, we're going to go Merfolk. Let's try out our... Again, this would probably be better as a Mistcaller. Actually, this would be Kamena Speaker if I had it in my deck. X is 3, yes. All right, let's see how this works. We got 2 Botanical Sanctums, and what got revealed? Why is it a 4-4? Oh, no, it's 4-4 because of Vidalian Hexcatcher. Okay, what got revealed? I don't even know what the last one was. Smuggler's Copter. Yeah, we can put that in the graveyard. I don't think we need that. It's an evasive creature. Actually, you know what? I'm going to keep it, just in case we needed one more evasive creature in this game. We have a bunch of Botanical Sanctums to throw away to the abyss. So Jadelight Spelunker is taking the spot of Kamena Speaker at this very moment. And this honestly was way better than Kamena Speaker. Although I think I'd still prefer Kamena's Speaker on turn 1. Temple Garden come to play tapped and shocking. Which means I think they're going to go for a Chord and then I counter. I really like whatever, or they're going to go for a Chord or a Collected Company. I can double counter, sacrificing a Hexcatcher. We still have 4 power in play to win the game, so this is not a problem at all. They were in a tough spot. They needed a basic land. If they had a basic land, then they win. But I will still have 4 power in play after we counter this. They can attack for 3, gain 3 life, go to 4, but the 4 unblockable. Not quite Mistcaller, but you know what? It was unblockable damage is unblockable damage. Okay, Amalia can explore, but it's worthless. You found a Sentinel. Congratulations. And they resign. Okay, against Amalia, we're going to bring in the Dispel for sure. Because Dispel can counter the Court of Calling, the Collected Company, great card. And it's for 1 mana. Tidebinder Mage is useless. Very, very bad in this matchup. We want the Eaten by Piranhas to disable the Amalias. We went through three. We faced three Amalias and still won. Cards I don't really like in this matchup. Sentinel of the Nameless City, mainly because the board usually gets pretty gummed up and there's no real good attack. I'm going to favor things like Smuggler's Copter, Miscloaked Herald, and Commanded Tyrant of Vraska to push damage as just to push damage. I also think Miscloaked Herald should be, well, I probably prefer Mistcaller for this exact matchup. I'm still going to like the Miscloaked Herald because it's just a reliable source of unblockable damage. That worked out great. You know, even though this is taking the Mistcaller slot, and this is the matchup for Mistcaller. Miscloaked Herald showed that it was much better. I'm not sure what maybe Disdainful Stroke is worth bringing in. I just don't know. I'm not confident enough. I imagine I'm still going to be tapping out quite a bit. We sort of have a hand that's not really going anywhere, but I don't want to throw it away either, so I'm going to keep it. We need like one more enabler to make this good. We got some one drops. Not even sure what I'll start off with. I guess we'll start off with Cenote Scout into Miscloaked Herald, or maybe Miscloaked Herald into Cenote Scout, and then have Eaten by Piranhas by some turn. Maybe actually I should start with the Cenote Scout, just to clear our lands from the top of our deck. Vidalian Hexcatcher, but in the graveyard, no, we need that one. That's our beef. Okay, so this is assuming there's not gonna be a Wild Growth Walker here or Amalia. I will definitely play the Hexcatcher next turn, and then we can follow it up with like Miscloaked Herald, Eaten by Piranhas in the future. Okay, play our Cavernous Souls on Merfolk. We'll attack. Just trying to think. Is there any way? I actually should do nothing. Should I pass? So there is a world where our opponent just goes Amalia, whatever, and then we're crushed. Otherwise, the only thing I'm afraid of is they go land pass, and then I can't play Hexcatcher because they're representing Collected Company. So I would have to take my turn, which might be okay. Maybe that's okay. Okay, so we take a long tank and pass. Probably doesn't look good on our part. Definitely in this game, Miscloaked Herald looks better. Okay, so you get this Lunarch thing. It's fine. Prosperous Innkeeper gets a trigger. Oh, look, the card preview thing shows triggers. And we got an Amalia. So here maybe we play the Eaten by Piranhas instead, because there's going to be a lot of triggers, and I don't want any of them to resolve. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, damn. I let them resolve by accident. I auto-yielded too soon. Too much value. I would definitely like... would you like to pay 3 life? Yes. Okay, we're going to play our Piranhas. Okay, so they're going to get 1 trigger, unfortunately. They got a Temple Garden. There could have been no triggers if I didn't auto-yield these things. The sad thing, though, is it's really hard to hold up. Okay, we're going to get a lot of triggers. It's hard to not auto-yield in this deck. They got another Temple Garden. Another Hexcatcher is definitely appreciated. I'm going to attack with our Cenote Scout. I don't mind if they block with anything. This is very silly. How do they do this? Okay, so I'm going to keep Amalia on the battlefield. Oh, no, I'm not. Everything's going to die. Okay, so those are the orders. I guess we'll just kill everything off. I just hope that there is not an extraction specialist. And enough mana left over to play our Cavernous Souls, Merfolk, and a Miscloaked Herald to defend against Collected Company. But keeping a lot of creatures off the battlefield helps play around Court of Calling, which is like one of their more lethal cards. Easy to, because you're tapping creatures instead of paying mana, it gets out of range of the Vidalian Hexcatcher anyway. And they're shocking with their Temple Garden. Okay, so more life gain dummies and Wild Growth Walker. Looks like I'm only going to be attacking for 2 for now. Probably going to play our Spelunker. Do I still want to play Spelunker? I can now go Cenote Scout and Hexcatcher on the same turn. And also, if we draw land with the Cenote Scout, then I can have an even bigger Spelunker in the future. Sure. And we get more creatures in play anyway for Hexcatcher's ability. Ooh, that Mutavault was a very good one. Okay, so we'll just play the Mutavault, which is another card that I can use to sacrifice to Collected Company or something. Now we're just trying to push damage as much as possible. I'm not playing around anything. I don't have like Eaten Piranhas in my hand, so let's just attack for 3 and go. We're gonna put the pedal to the metal as quickly as possible. Interesting that he played the Boseiju. 3, 2, because they could kill my Mutavault. What is this? Okay, it's Disturb. You may cast this card from your graveyard, or they just want to trigger Wild Growth Walker. Whenever creature explores, put a +1/+1 counter, and you gain 3 life. What is going on here? Oh, it's got flying. That's what's going on here. Okay. I get it. Does that mean I can, like, freely attack on the ground? Smugly's Copter. Very smugly. I'm probably gonna be close to tapped out here. I'm gonna attack with these two dummies on the ground, I guess. Yes, I cannot do anything useful here. Okay, let's just push damage. Blocks are not good. Actually, I didn't think about it. I could have attacked with the Mutavault, play the land, Smuggler's Copter, just keep the Spelunker in hand, and then we just play Spelunker for like 2 next turn. Do I want to play? No, okay, we're definitely going to get the Copter in play right now. Hold on, cancel. Maybe we play Spelunker. Green, green. Play Spelunker for 2, see if we can draw some lands. Ah, interesting. Okay, so we got to sacrifice some stuff. I'm fine with that. We'll definitely activate the Mutavault. Part of the plan of keeping one up. And this is the last card in their hand. Actually, maybe I just sack the dummy tiny creatures here and then play Copter. Because this Mutavault might be more valuable than this Miscloaked Herald at this point. I think I'm fine with that. And we potentially block the Luminous Phantom. Okay, we drew... What's the revealed card? Got a Cenote Scout. Keep the Cenote Scout, I guess. And pass. Oh, you don't have Amalia, do you? I mean, they do have a lot of good top decks in this deck. Thinking top deck, like Court of Calling, Collected Comment. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Does anything have... Is the game over? The creature is the battle. Oh. Can't do anything about it. Well, nice top deck, opponent. Well played, well played. I wonder, is there anything I can do? Well, so, like, what it comes down to is they can the board gets wiped, and they have technically infinite life gain. I do have a Cenote Scout on top of my deck, and I do have a Mutavault in play to make a chump block. So, I mean, it's not completely impossible for me to get out of this game, but I mean, obviously I'm losing here. Okay, I'm just going to auto-yield all this. Fortunately, I get to keep my Copter. Oh, they're going to keep Return to the Ranks on top. Not a bad idea. Probably I should just resign from here. Like, what chance... Like, the only way I can technically win from here is... I mean, I can practically win from here. It's going to involve drawing... What's it called? It's going to involve drawing Merfolk Deep-Root Pilgrimage, and then somehow perpetually... keeping tokens to chump block this Amalia for eternity, no matter how much they try to... And I have a Copter here to hopefully get like a new creature every single turn. So here's our creature. So we'll play our Cenote Scout. It's not what I was looking for. Okay, we got a crew. Let's go. Deep-Root Pilgrimage. Or Frog Effect, actually. I'll take a Frog Effect too. Not good draws. No, that's not what I wanted. That was bad. That was some bad, terrible, terrible draws. I needed good stuff off the top of my deck. That was terrible stuff. Like, if we got Frog Effect into, say, Dispel, like, we're sort of back in this game. You know what I mean? Anyway, we got a chump. They have a Return to the Ranks on top of their deck. 23 attacking me. Alright, they're tapping mana. Return to Ranks. 2 of these Wild Growth Walkers. Oh, sorry, 1 Wild Growth Walker, 1 Prosperous Innkeeper. Okay, they're gonna redo this all over again. Am I stone dead? I can top deck a Merfolk, and then even if I draw Deep-Root Pilgrimage, I don't think it matters now. It mattered before. Actually, I screwed that attack. Last turn, I should have actually activated the Mutavault to crew my Copter, because I really needed to leave this Cenote Scout in play to crew, or, oh no, that wouldn't work. Okay, I don't think it would have mattered. You know what? I don't feel like playing this game. It's okay. You got it. Interestingly, Mistcaller would not have helped me in that game if I had Mistcaller over, say, Miscloaked Herald, because of what ended up happening. Or maybe it would have, because then I wouldn't have to sack so many creatures. No, it doesn't matter. They top decked the Amalia. Nothing I could do about that. They had Amalia. They just top decked it. I like the sideboarding. Just gonna ship it back. Hand is okay. So we go turn 2 Copter. Turn 3 we can start crewing. We have Witness Protection. All right, I'll keep. Prefer a 1-drop in hand, but you know what? You don't always get what you want. Start off with an island. Ah, yes. That's the only good thing about Amalia. They do nothing on turn 2. Well, these lands aren't good news, but we're going to do what we got to do. Copter usually is pretty good at finding gas, so find that gas, Copter. Do your business. Wild Growth Walker. So we shall start probably with... Well, if I draw a Mutavault, I can't play because I need to Witness Protection this Wild Growth Walker this turn. So I'll just play Yavimaya Coast. We already know that we're going to Witness Protection. Let's loot. Inbipronus is nice. Is there any enchantments like I really have to destroy with Boseiju? I don't think so. Like, I don't think so. Even then, I guess it's just safer to get rid of the breeding pool that deals damage to me. Okay, we'll give you some protection, Wild Growth Walker. A little bit of protection. You've seen too much, Wild Growth Walker. You could use some protection, some witness protection. You interested in getting into capitalism? Just a little bit? You want to be a legitimate business person instead of an illegitimate business person? Well, I guess that's the idea. You're a legitimate business person instead of, like, I don't know, a crime lord or something. Mistcloaked Herald is not bad. What could happen at 3 mana? Is there, like, a flash creature in this deck? I'm scared. What's up with this? What is going on here? Do they have removal for my copter? Okay, let's play this first, I guess. But if they have removal for my copter, it's probably like 2 mana and they can still eat it anyway. But if they have Abrupt Decay, I can't play around that anyhow. Oh. Well, if they have 2 removal spells, I'm doomed, so. Okay. Can I please attack with this? My life depends on it. Ooh, they have the Boseiju. Okay. Sure. I'm going to get a breeding pool. I will not pay the 2 life. We are in really bad shape now, though. Oh, man, I needed to filter some of these lands out of my hand really badly. Well, they have a really high interactive hand, I guess. Well, so do we. But they don't have Collected Company, otherwise they would have played it. Or maybe they have something like Extraction Specialist and they just don't want to burn it yet. We'll attack for 1 with our Mistcloaked Herald, and then we'll see what's on top of our deck. Find us something here, Cenote Scout. Find us something. Find me anything! Deeproot Pilgrimage. I'm going to keep it, but I'm not thrilled about that one at this juncture. Our opponent's still not doing anything, so that's some good news. It's interesting. They could use this Boseiju on the Witness Protection. They opt not to. It's not their Witness Protection. It's my Witness Protection. Okay, they've got their own Cenote Scout, and they found another Wild Growth Walker, which is going to be kept in check by our Eaten by Piranhas. They're going to play a land. They're going to pass and do nothing. All right, so here's where this Mistcloaked Herald hopefully is going to be of some value to us. Can I attack? I would love to attack and start making babies here. Okay, they have something to say about this. Oh! Destroy target creature or enchantment or planeswalker. It's great. We get 2 map tokens. Not bad, really, to be honest, because now I can put these map tokens on the Mistcloaked Herald and start attacking for more damage. It's not bad at all. Deal. Okay, let's make this thing bigger then. Cenote Scout on top. Put in our graveyard. I don't really want a Cenote Scout. We're going to say no first, but then we're going to say no the second time. Just dump it in the graveyard, and I'll play the Boseiju, because I don't know what I'm supposed to use on that against this deck. If there's even anything useful to hit with it. Oh, they revealed the Wild Growth Walker with Cenote Scout, and they put in the graveyard. Okay, is this a race yet? Are we racing? Random card off the top, Botanical Sanctum. Could have drawn that with my Cenote Scout. We'll just keep that in our hand for like a Smuggler's Copter we draw off the top or something. What a weird game. Not anymore. Wonder what we're going to get. Cord for 2 will be the infamous Amalia. It is, but I will not let you sit around. Or how am I going to do this? I could just wait. Whenever you gain life, I think I can just wait on playing Eaten by Piranhas. There's no life gain on the battlefield. That's the genius of Eaten by Piranhas. It has flash. Giant creature loses all abilities and is a black skeleton creature with base power and toughness of 1/1. So we don't have to reveal what we got going on here yet. The onus is on them to gain a single point of life somehow. And to do it quickly, because we do have this Mistcloaked Herald beating down for 3 damage a turn. And we've got another Mistcloaked Herald. Important to note again, we would have shut this Court of Calling off if only this was a Mistcaller. The playtesting sucks! Playtesting is bad. Okay, but we do have 4 power in play now. So the clock is on. It's a 2-turn clock. Let's see if it's good enough. Okay, so we are going to cord for 3. What does 3 get you? Extraction Specialist? It's not cord for... Well, I can't do anything about it, so we'll just let it resolve. Okay, it is Extraction Specialist to get a Wild Growth Walker back. Sure. Okay, there's still no life. Maybe I should actually do something in response. Damn it. Because I am in a bit of a pickle. Because now if they go like cord for a bit of life gain, I could be in some trouble. I will definitely block this with the Cenote Scout, so hopefully it dies and doesn't come back. So whenever something gains life, whenever something explores, you gain life. Whenever you gain life, so I have to do this before damage. I have to Eaten by Piranhas before damage and hope it resolves, or there's no problem here. They could cord in response I probably should have done this on my turn. I guess an alternate line is I eat by piranhas the extraction specialist, so they don't gain life, and I just eat their creature, and I still have a 2-turn clock. I didn't think about that. Another Amalia. Interesting. Okay, so the life gain thing is offline still. I have a 3-turn clock in play. Okay. Frog effect. Interesting. You know what's also interesting? They have like, what, 7 power in play? So I attack for 4. They attack for 6. All right, I'm winning the race. Now that we have Dispel at the worst possible time, we just drew Dispel. We are now hoping our opponent draws Court of Calling or Collected Company, or even has it right now, although they've burned 2 of them already. What are the odds of us winning from here? I would imagine not very good. There's so many cards in their deck that would just make them win on the spot. It's interesting there. Be careful with their legitimate business person. Legitimate business person doesn't know how to attack in combat, so they're just going to attack for 3. Never another creature enters the battlefield to gain 1 life. All right, we're in trouble. So now any creature drawn off the top of the deck is good too. Oh, good, it's Cord. We can. Oh, it's a sorcery! No! I can't use Dispel here. I was so excited for a second. Again, Mistcaller would be better. I understand the risks, though. I understand the risks. Damn. I wonder how much different it would be, though. If I have Mistcaller, I still can't attack. Although the game might be played, like, very, 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 very different. Can I do anything? Probably not. I mean, I'll let them, I don't know, stack something to the top of their deck. Probably, well, I'm not going to say, like, we would probably win, but, drew a smidge more lands than I would like that game, especially after we looted with Copter. Also, having a 1-drop at the beginning of the game could have helped a lot on the play, versus a deck that usually doesn't have anything to do on turn 1. Looks like they are, I have no idea what they're digging for. But I should really reiterate that while I'm taking out Mistcaller, and it is the best card in this matchup, I am fine with decreasing my win percentage versus Amalia if I can increase my win percentage against all the other decks in the metagame. I just want to make that clear. I know it's like, it looks like it's really backfiring here, but if you want to make a really good deck, you have to make sacrifices if you want to make your win rate better overall against everything else. Like, sacrifices need to be made. See, I needed that reversed. Reverses. I need that little reversed around here. Witness protection first. Okay, we're dead. Thanks for the games. Anyway, that was round 1. Let's move on to round 2. We lost the die roll. Our hand seems actually pretty terrible. Debating if this is worth throwing back, but I guess we'll keep it just to test out these creatures. Mistcloaked Herald and Jadelight's Spelunker. We're up against a Yorion deck, so this card might be very, very bad versus that deck as well. Witness protection. Immediately punished. Immediately. Okay, but if we're up against Nivtalite, 100% Mistcloaked Herald will be better than Mistcaller. Not even a debate. Up the beanstalk. I guess we're just meant to lose this game, I guess. So we'll play our Spelunker. This is just the only thing we can do right now. It's gonna find a Mutavault. That's also not what I'm looking for at this moment. We need to draw a lot of gas really fast. What the hell happened here? What happened? Opponent just dumps the game for nothing? Did they miss on a land, or like, okay, I'm just dead. I can't beat this Mutavault. Nikachu must have everything in hand. Oh my god. What a gift. What an absolute gift. They must have had, like, okay, it had to have been a hand of like 5 drops galore. It was like Niv to Light, sorry, not Niv to Light, like Bring to Light, Niv Mizzet, and I don't know what else, and just 2, and it was a 2-lander, and we needed to not draw lands, they needed to draw lands. That's how I'm interpreting this. Okay, Mystical Dispute, very good in this matchup because it can hit Omnath. It hits everything. Hits everything important. Omnath. It hits Niv Mizzet, all versions of Niv Mizzet. Also hits Bring to Light, and we'll do the same thing with Disdainful Stroke. Hits all the payoff cards. We do not need frog effects in this matchup. This is terrible. We could bring in Dispel because it hits a lot of their spot removal, like Lightning Helix, for example. Okay, what else are we going to take out? Probably going to take out some more of these. We don't need this many 1-drops, and these 1-drops are very poor. So we'll remove those. I guess we bring in 1 Dispel. In theory, I could side out a land like a Boseiju for another Dispel. Yeah, maybe we do that. It's a bit of an attrition-based matchup. We can go down to 23 lands, I think, here. We're being a little bit more threat dense is good. Or do I? No, hold on. Boseiju is good here. Forgot that. They forgot the Leyline Binding. Leyline Binding. No, I'm going to... And this is going to be a good matchup to test out the Jade Light Spelunker. I think that's going to be... This is going to be a really good matchup to test this card out. Because it's like a 1-1 if I really need it on turn 1, but it's also just a massive threat in the late game. That hopefully digs me for some good stuff. We're going to keep this. So Spelunker is just going to be a 1-1 piece of crap. Useless 1-1 in this game, but at least is going to help us on curve with our Vidalian Hexcatcher. Oh, this is going to be annoying. I have to always say, oh, I'm not going to pay the X. 1-1. What does that mean, opponent? What do you think that means out of me? Sylvan Caryatid. Sure. Mystical Dispute, which is not a problem. I guess we're going to attack. See what they do. I mean, it's a free attack. Ah, they blocked me. Oh well. Okay, we're actually just gonna pass. And then depending what they do, maybe I'll play Hexcatcher. Maybe I'll play a Mystical Dispute. By default, I do plan on playing. Ooh, that's great. All right, so we're gonna play our Hexcatcher and get some really good value out of this Spelunker. That was a 1-1. That might peeve off our opponent too. And they're not going to be a lot happy that they played into that. Another Spelunker. This is going to be great. So I was planning on just playing the Mutavault and passing. But now that we have a Spelunker, we're gonna switch plans. Because we do want to keep this Mystical Dispute up if they go Bring to Light next turn. If they... there's a lot of... Bring to Light, Omnath, all those good things. Now this is going to telegraph heavily that we've got some sort of interaction. But I don't care. I really don't care. They might think that we're holding up Mutavault mana. Deeproot Pilgrimage, put in the graveyard? Absolutely not. That's a bomb. With Hexcatcher on the board, that is amazing. Might even be close to a lock. Are we going to wipe the board? What are we doing here? It's blue. That's all I care about this card. When you cast a multicolored instant or sorcery spell from your hand, exile that spell instead of resolving. You know what? No, I don't want to deal with this stuff. No, thank you. Okay, and we just win the game. They know, like, once we get the Pilgrimage online with Mutavault, we'll have so many tokens on the battlefield, they'll never resolve any of their good spells. So we won the match. Good matchup. Good matchup gets one. And despite the fact that I took out Spell Pierce, because Spell Pierce is very useful in this matchup to counter Fable and Bring to Light amongst like any of the removal spells or sweepers. But we didn't need it. We didn't need it. But with a little bit of luck, because our opponent just prematurely conceded for nothing at last game. But who knows? Maybe we would have drawn out of it faster than they could draw out of it. Okay, that was round 2. Let's move on to round 3. Round 3, we won the die roll. We're on the play with a pretty empty hand. We do have a 1-drop. We have no 2-drop. If there was like maybe 2 Mutavaults in this hand, I would keep it. If there was one other random card, I would keep it. But as it is, I think we have to mulligan. Try to get something slightly better. Okay, this is interesting because we get to go turn 1 Mistcloaked Herald and get Deeproot Pilgrimage online. I'd like to see how that interaction works out, so we're going to keep this. Probably what we're going to do is dump the Breeding Pool, I think? Probably. Yeah, we keep... I guess I'll dump Breeding Pool to keep our life total as high as possible. If I have to play the Boseiju as a land, then so be it. Cavern of Souls, Merfolk, Go-Go Mistcaller. I guess, actually, you know, it was probably more appropriate to play Bark Channel Pathway. Or actually, I don't know. I don't know what's more appropriate. I guess if we draw an island, it's better to play. I'm just trying to see, was it important to hold this back? The information, just in case we're up against a counterspell deck. 2 Witness Protections versus a Blooming Marsh deck. I think that's going to be good for us. I'm just hoping our opponent doesn't have a Fatal Push here. Fatal Push would be pretty bad. Would not be thrilled about that. All right, we got 1/1s. And this is the point. Actually, this is not really the point. I guess if this was Mistcaller, it would work the same. Another Amalia deck. Unbelievable. Wild Growth Walker. Interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, we're going to attack with both our Mistcaller and our token. Then if they block, we just Witness Protection it. We keep a creature off the battlefield because it has 1 damage on it. When we Witness Protection it, it will still have that 1 damage. And I don't see any reason to actually play Boseiju here, so I'm just not going to. Yeah, I'm just not going to. We'll keep that in hand. Another Amalia deck. Now, okay, that did work out, because if that was Mistcaller, we'd not be able to attack. I would play Witness Protection, attack into a 1/1, and then it would die. Another Wild Growth Walker. I wonder if they're gonna fall for the same trick again. Selfless Saver. Interesting. Another target creature control gains indestructible until end of turn. Another Mistcloaked Herald. How am I going to do this? Attack. If I attack, witness protection. They have to sack the Selfless Saver to it. That's fine. Because if I play witness protection first, my opponent can opt to not block, and that's not good. It's not good because then my opponent has more permanence on the battlefield for, or I guess they have more okay, that works. They have more permanence on the battlefield for Court of Calling. So now they have to sacrifice the Selfless Save here, which is fine. Okay, so that's one less permanent on the battlefield, and it still died? Oh, it lost all its abilities. I didn't even notice that. I didn't even think that interaction was going to happen. Yeah, it lost all of its abilities. Witness Protection says, hey, you lose all your abilities. You were indestructible. Well, now you're not. That's funny. That is funny. Okay, so now we're just trying to dodge. I mean, there's a lot of things we're trying to dodge here. Return to the ranks would suck. A lot of things would suck. But our opponent, like, basically blew themselves out by accident. I didn't even think that was going to happen. I didn't even think that was going to happen. So I guess we're not getting the metagame for our Mistcloaked Heralds today. We'll attack with everything. Play our Copter. Keep both Boseiju and Protection in our hand. Getting in some nice amount of damage here. Incremental damage. Oh, I screwed this up. Yeah, I could tap this to make another token. Oh, forgot about that. Well, we'll know for next turn. I guess the only thing I'm afraid of now is, like, collected company into the combo itself. What is this? Spree. Search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle, and also pay 2. Return up to 2 target creatures total mana value 4 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay, that's going to be okay. Because, again, we still have Witness Protection. So they're going to go get Amalia. Pretty good card. 5 mana for all that. That's value. That is value. Oh, you get to put it into play? Search your library for a card, put it to your graveyard. Oh, they put the card in the graveyard and then... I thought it put it in their hand. Okay, that's fine as well. Another Herald, which is okay. But I think I'm going to attack with everything. How many witness protections can I have? They might ask. Millions. Absolute millions. I don't know if it's a value to attack with my tokens this time. Maybe it is. Whatever they chump block, I guess we can witness protection to death. Which one gains life? I hate the one that gains life. And the legendary one is hard to... you can just put another legendary in. If you play another legendary, you have to dump the other one into the graveyard. So if I attack with both... Whenever you gain life. Probably the Wild Growth Walker is the one that I want to kill. But I'm not entirely sure. Let's just go wide next turn. Or over the next few turns. Do I have... Oh, I have to stack these. Jade Light Spelunker. I cannot play everything. So I guess we're going to get rid of the Spelunker. Maybe get rid of Mistcloaked Herald. I just realized... What do we do here? Maybe get rid of Mistcloaked Herald and we play the Jade Light Spelunker. Despite the fact that that is unblockable damage as well. I realized maybe it was better to tap a token, activate the Copter, and then attack with just 2 unblockable Mistcloaked Heralds. Okay, we're going to play this. Let's play a Spelunker. X will be 1. Smuggler's Copter on top. We'll put that in the graveyard. That is useless to us at this point. So which one do we hit? Amalia. I hate this one because there's a lot of life gain in the deck. I hate this one because I hate my opponent gaining life at all. Okay, well, we'll hit the Amalia, I guess. There is another Wild Growth Walker in the graveyard, so if we hit Wild Growth Walker, they could just try to summon this thing back from the graveyard, and that would be terrible. All we need is like a Hex Catcher, and probably this game is over. Deep Cavern Bats. I got nothing in hand. Nothing. You can make your Wild Growth Walker a little bit bigger, I guess, though. Oh, I forgot to make a token. Whoa, 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 whoa. What happened here? All right, so that is a bomb card. Okay, so what's going to happen here? We're in the same spot as last time where we're going to put our opponent in a situation where they have to basically combo off. It's flying and lifelink. They're going to gain some life no matter what. Whenever something explores, +1. Oh no, there's just a life gain trigger. That's it. Just trying to figure out what's the best way to win here. Maybe we tap. I'm just trying to figure out. Okay, maybe we tap something. I just want to see what we draw out of all this. Because I can't attack for lethal this turn. That's impossible. But if I draw Hex Catcher, I would rather have that over the Kumena, Tyrant of Erazka. Because that cuts my opponent's outs by a lot. We don't draw it, so we'll dump the Mistcloaked Herald, and I guess we'll just play Kumena and threaten to win next turn. Because I can just pump up the team, and we'll definitely have lethal by next turn. Yeah, plan is to pump up team, and then go full swing. So again, our opponent's in a spot where they have to top deck Amalia or Collected Company, Court of Calling, and they have the outs, but they didn't find it. We win game 1. It's always nice to win game 1, even though we have Mistcloak. Mistcloak Herald is impressing me. You know, and that was the whole point. Finally, we got to see Mistcloaked Herald and Deeproot Pilgrimage working exactly as designed. Okay, so what do we want to do? Bring in Frog Effects, bring in Dispel, Side Out, Sentinel of the Nameless City. And that's it, I guess. I could see a world where I bring in, like, I have 2 Tidebinder Mage in the main, and then we have all 4 Dispel in the sideboard, and maybe that would be pretty good. And this Spelunker is actually quite nice. I might have to test this Spelunker out a lot more. Maybe this is just, could that be better than Kamena Speaker? I have nothing against Kamena Speaker. Here's the deal, like, I like Kamena Speaker in this world of aggro creature decks. Like, there's humans and goblins and Convoke and all that other stuff. But the top decks, none of those decks are the top decks. None of them. The top decks are like Izzet Phoenix and Rakdos. And, you know, to be honest, even against Rakdos control, I still like Kamena Speaker. We can keep this. The hand actually looks quite nice. We might have to take it a little slowly, though, once we get to 4 mana. Okay, start off with our Mistcloaked Herald, and then follow it up with a Copter. I got to get used to, like, putting my cursor on whatever we just played so that you can see it in the card preview window. Deep Cavern Bat. Definitely not what I wanted to see from my opponent. Can make my curve very awkward here, because if they take the Smuggler's Copter, I'm not going to be happy. They might even take Dispel, which means I'm very unhappy. It means, like, a Collected Company is on the way. They take the Deep Cavern Bat. All right. Witness Protection. So we're going to play Merfolk, and then depending... I think I'm actually just going to sit on defense here, because I don't want the Deep Cavern Bat. If they play Amalia, I want to be able to punish an attack from Deep Cavern Bat. It'll be like their last attack with Amalia. Okay, Wild Growth Walker. There's going to be no exploring here, at least. We'll definitely have to Witness Protection that. Would you like to attack, opponent? It is pointless. Eaten by Piranhas. That is also excellent. Okay, so now we have a lot of options. Probably going to attack now. Probably we're going to attack. And then probably play a Witness Protection to have Eaten by Piranhas up if necessary. So crew the Copter. We're going to get in with our Copter. Attack for 3. Let us loot. Otawara, I like that, I think, a little bit better than our breeding pool, so we'll keep it. We hit our opponent for 3, and I'm just going to play the... Am I going to play Witness Protection? Or do I just do nothing? Because what I could do is I could just do nothing, and then I play Witness Protection and Kamena on my turn. That sounds good in theory, but probably in practice that's not good. I actually have a problem. I don't know when I'm going to play this Kamena Tyrant of Erezka. Because I would like to play Kumena plus have Witness Protection up at the same time. I cannot do it, though. Okay, so let's play Witness Protection here. And then we'll hold up Eaten by Piranhas. And maybe we'll just be a little patient for a little while. We might even dump this Kumena. Kumena's not very... Honestly, Kumena's not very good if my opponent has... If I have no Deeproot Pilgrimage in play. So while my opponent takes their turn, I'm sort of hoping they have something that I can Eaten by Piranhas. That's not it. I hate this Innkeeper card. Makes our opponent gain a lot of life. They play the Mana Confluence. Ooh, it looks like they're going to pass. Probably with Court of Calling mana. We're going to take 1 damage from the bat. We lose 1 life. Got exactly 3. They have exactly 5, so that they can play Cord for 3. Sorry, Cord for 2. There it is. But that's okay, because we got Eaten by Piranhas. We are prepared for something. What that something is, I don't know. Okay, so this... probably Amalia. Then they will hope to explore with their Prosperous Innkeeper. But in response to the Innkeeper trigger, I will Eaten by Piranhas. The Amalia! I'll pay the 3 life, and then nothing happens. You gain your 1 life, Amalia does nothing. And that was the plan. Okay, we'll crew. Attack for 3. Try to grind some stuff. Grind cards. All doing just drawing and discarding cards. Okay, we got a Spelunker. I guess we are gonna discard our Otawara. Yeah, we'll just play the Spelunker. Pretty defenseless at this point. Merfolk. Green. Colorless. I gotta hope my opponent has basically nothing now in hand. Cenote Scout in hand. Put in a graveyard? No, we'll keep that. And then we can go Cenote Scout, Kamena Speaker. Maybe draw at least 1 card off of it, and then go from there. I have to hope my opponent just can't combo kill me here. This is where Miscall would be better. Strictly better. Okay, what do we got on the battlefield? Nothing useful. a bunch of huge life gain machine. A lot of life gainers, but that's fine because we're about to have a lot of power on the battlefield. Found an overgrown tomb, which I guess they can't cast this turn. I'm assuming they want these things in the graveyard, so I'm not going to block. I would try to block this bad if I could, but we cannot. So we'll just take the 3. Next turn we can play Cenote Scout and Kamena Speaker, and potentially block and draw cards. Okay, start off with Cenote Scout. We get a land, which is good. I can churn that into something useful. I'm going to keep the 3 creature. I don't want to attack with the Mistcloaked Herald because I need it to draw a card off of Kamena Speaker. Draw a Breeding Pool. That is Stone Cold useless. I guess we'll just dump that. Opponent takes 3. I'll play Kamena, Tyrant of Erazka, and then we'll just figure out things after that. Yeah, okay. Kamena and pass. So I'll block like Cenote Scout, this Lunarch Veteran. I'll block Prosperous Innkeeper. I'm just not going to block these guys because those, I have a feeling our opponent wants us to block those. I just have a feeling. And if nothing else, we will make sure that we draw a card at end of turn with Kamena. And then hopefully, if we can find ourselves a nice Deeproot Pilgrimage or something, we just completely take over this game. It's funny, I'm trying to experiment playing without Mistcaller, and we play against 2 Amalia decks. 2 of them! But the games are still closer than I would think. I mean, we're up a game. We can, like... We were up a game in game 1 versus the first Amalia deck, surprisingly. In retrospect, I should have tapped the Mistcloaked Herald to Accrue the Copter. Just in case my opponent goes for an all-out attack, I can block with the Cenote Scout and feel pretty good about it. What is this? Cord for 1. Probably the dog. Ooh, Haywire Might. Okay. So, triggers on the stack. They can crack Haywire Might, get rid of the Eaten by Piranhas, and then start getting some useful value off of their Amalia. Okay, I have nothing I can do about this. So Amalia will trigger. I'm going to yield to these things. They found another Amalia, which is useless. I'll probably just put that in the graveyard. But now, now I am not profitably attacking with this deep cavern. Sorry, this Smuggler's Copter anymore. They really desperately want this in the graveyard now. No, we're not doing that. Sorry. Found an Overgrown Tomb. They play the Temple Gardens. They have 2 Overgrown Tombs, and yeah, that's about it. They have 2 Overgrown Tombs and an unknown card in their hand. Okay, we're going to tap 3. We're going to draw a card. Witness Protection is great. Hexcatcher is also... Well, Hexcatcher was a lot better earlier. But what do I do with this? I mean, I guess I have to hit this Amalia. We are going to pay the 3. Maybe I still attack with everything. And we just draw cards? Okay, hold on. Let's attack with... I have a feeling an Extraction Specialist is coming up, right? Well, if they want to attack with this, then that means they have to... That last card has to be Extraction Specialist? Did I screw up with this Witness Protection? If I did, I did. Whatever. Okay, I'm going to crew something, and we'll go in for an attack. I sort of need the cards. Cenote Scout was perfect. Cenote Scout can pay for itself. Kamena, no, we can put that in the graveyard, and we'll just pass the turn. Okay, so there will be a pretty big turn here because Extraction Specialist gets a lot of value. I don't think I mind blocking Amalia here, because if there is Extraction Specialist, I'll be fine. I mean, I couldn't play around Extraction Specialist anyway, so we might as well just block here. Do we block everything? Like, if there's Extraction Specialist, like, who cares? Oh, return to the ranks. Right. You can only return one of these Amalias to the ranks if you want to. If you want to. Okay, take 2, go to 6. Don't I know about 2 Overgrown Tombs, or did they play them? Play 1 in 1 turn? I'm not sure. Okay, so we will now play our Vidalian Hexcatcher. What to do? Pump or draw? I think I want the cards at the moment, so we're going to tap 3. Start drawing some cards. Okay, that's good. But then we are going to be soon pumping everything up. Another Eaten by Piranhas, which is perfect. Probably can eat that Deep Cavern Bat at some point. Is perfect. Do I start attacking here? I can attack for 5 and still pump everything up and crew Copter. So let's do that. And still play Eaten by Piranhas. Okay, that's our unblockable creatures. I'm going to be a little cautious with my life total now. But we are going to progressively, like, just pump up our entire board every turn. Wild Growth Walker. Sure. Nothing can explore yet. Gain a bunch of life, though. Okay, I know about one of those Overgrown Tombs, unless I missed one. Okay, what would you like to do, opponent? Nothing or something? Okay, the answer was nothing. So we're going to activate our Mutavault, and then we're just going to pump everything up. Tap 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everything gets a counter. Excellent. And then we take our turn. And I think this is just going to be my route to victory. Can I win this turn? You've got 6 blockers. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, not nearly enough. So I'm just going to take the same line. We attack for 7, which is a pretty substantial amount of damage. Oh no! What have I done? Oh, I guess it just doesn't matter. Was it like that last time? Did I make Kumena unblockable last turn? Maybe I didn't. Oh boy. Oh well. Okay, we do have the Eaten by Piranha, so if there is a return to the ranks... Well, I guess there's no return to the ranks. Or if there is, I can still try to counter it. Yeah, it's a funny situation. What would return to the... What does return to the ranks do here? And also, oh, it has Convoke too, which sucks. Okay, so we've got the Lively Dirge card that's back. Oh, it's only paying. They're only paying for it. Return up to 2 creature cards with total mana value 4 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. I think I can tolerate that because with all the triggers on the stack, we just hit the Amalia with our Eaten by Piranhas. It might be game. Oh, they brought the Haywire Might. Oh, that was so smart. So in response to an Eaten by Piranhas, they can hit it with the Haywire Might. Is there any way I can disrupt this in between? Maybe not. Did I just lose out of nowhere? So I had to sack my board? Which I could have done, by the way. I could have sacked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures. Oh, that's a frustrating way to lose. I didn't see that line with bringing the Haywire Might back and 1 Amalia. Yeah, that totally deals with my deals with the situation. So the combo's online. This card's frustrating. This Lively Dirge. It's a new one. I've never seen it played against me before. Maybe that's our opponent's their own spice. Okay, hold on. I have options here. We can draw cards. So let's tap 3 Merfolk. And let's figure something out here. You know, we got options here. It's not over. If I draw 2 Eaten by Piranhas, that would work. Is there a second one? Yeah, there's still another one. Ah, another Hex Catcher. It's totally useless here. I could try to draw one more thing, but I don't think it's of any use to me. Because I could activate Mutavault, tap 3, draw, but I don't think that does anything. So the problem is once one of these life gain triggers goes off, everything goes off. Okay, I think the idea is we've got to let all this resolve, and I just have no other option. So we're going to let our opponent combo off, and then at the end of the combo, I can, like, Eaten by Piranhas the Amalia. So there effectively will be nothing, and I'll have at least a Smuggler's Copter. I'll have a Smuggler's Copter and an Eaten by Piranhas and Vidalian Hexcatcher and Kumena Tyrant of Vraska. So we're going to have a little bit of a board at the end of all this, and I just have to play around the one thing that they get to keep on top of their deck, if that's even worth playing around. It's an Amalia world out there. We're just living in it. It's a good thing we get to keep the Copter. Is it destroy all other creatures? Destroy all other creatures. Okay, so I can't activate my Mutavault in response. It would be pointless. It's a good thing that Amalia has Summoning Sickness this turn. Or they're going to keep Aetherflux Reservoir on top, which I cannot interact with very well. I need like some sort of hard counter for that thing. Oh no, what happened? Okay, hold on. I drew... Is it my turn? What happened? Why do... Oh, I get the Dispel back. Because I thought I was drawing a card for the turn. Yeah, I don't even know what we need here. So this, they can pay 4, pay 50 life, deal 50 damage to any target. So I need... Well, I have Hexcatcher, and I need a lot more creatures. Oh, I guess I could have... Well, playing Eaten by Piranhas on Amalia doesn't do anything here. Or I guess... No, it did do something. My opponent would have less life to work with. All right, what do we do? What do we do, chat? Chat that is not even here right now. I guess we play our cards. That's what we do. Do I have any counter spells that can help me here? I guess it's even pointless playing Eaten by Piranhas because I'll, like, chew me up for 3 life. Let's just fly over. Another Copter. I'm not even sure what's in my deck that can save me at this point. That would have been very, very good if I drew it immediately. Maybe? Probably not. Probably is worthless. I needed this maybe, like, last turn. I definitely did it last turn so I can counter this that other thing. Anyway, okay, we're just going to die. All right, they got it. They got game 2. The thing that sucks about playing against Amalia is they always, like, I can get a winning position and then they're just like, all right, 1 turn, I win. That's it. You know, like, wow, that's Super feels bad. Maybe Disdainful Stroke is good. Maybe Disdainful Stroke is like very, very good in this matchup. I think everything else I have is good though. I don't really want to remove anything. What I like is we're the one with the initiative here. Like we're the one putting the pressure on our opponent. Okay, this hand's good. Or good enough, I should say. Like the onus is always, I feel like I'm the one that's putting pressure on our opponent to like win the game. Kamena, we will, this is a good Kamena hand. Not really. I think I'm gonna dump it. We've got a Copter, so if we find Pilgrimage with Hexcatcher, I think that's really strong. Okay, forget everything I just said. Our hand is about to get turned into a wasteland. I'm so used to Amalia just like passing the turn with nothing on turn 1. They finally had something. They take the Copter. Good move. Good move. Ooh, Spelunker. Probably we're going to play the Spelunker instead. Seems like a pretty good way to curve out, I think. Okay, we'll attack for... Okay, we'll attack for 2. See, now I want my Kumena back. I wasn't prepared for that last move. Wasn't prepared at all. Okay, our player's Spelunker for 2. And we drew a land, so it's one less land we have to draw off the top of our deck. Luminarch Veteran. They attack... sorry, they do nothing. We attack with both. I made a mistake. I should play a land before I go to combat, because if our opponent has Fatal Push, well, that's not going to be very good for me. They do nothing. So if I play Hexcat, I think we should just maximize damage here. I'll probably be in a position to... I'll probably just bounce something with Otawara next turn, to be honest. Just to reduce the stuff that's on the battlefield. Skyclave. Big sad face. And they gain a life. And if I bounce that... Gonna get a little something back, but not a lot of something. Ooh, another Hexcatcher. That was premium. All right, so we will, I guess, attack with everything. They won't even see this coming. I don't mind that block. We get rid of the stupid Skyclave, so less, I mean, well, maybe that's a problem. Maybe there's Extraction Specialist on the way. But less creatures on the battlefield for Court of Calling. We can still counter a Collected Company or a Court of Calling for 2. If they play a land with our Hexcatcher and our Cenote Scout. Sweet, we won the match. It's very sweet. I wonder what's in their hand. A bunch of lands? We were pretty land heavy too. Draw a card. Can't draw a card. Alright, well, that was round 3. Let's move on to round 4. We lost the die roll. We're on the draw. Hand honestly is like a little on the poor side. We do have a turn 1 play, but we have no turn 2 play. We are on the draw. This is a pretty good card to stabilize. Like Sentinel's pretty good, but I think we should just mulligan at least once to try to get something better. This is a lot better. We'll keep this. I guess we'll throw away one Cenote Scout. I mean, this hand's very good, actually. Shock. Shock, will you? What is this, control? What is Watery Grave played in? The blue mana, I think, is more important than the green mana, so I am going to shock myself here. Play Cenote Scout on turn 1. Very likely we'll play a Copter turn 2. Consider. What is this? Kept the card on top of their library. Got a Cavern of Souls. I'd be a little bit more reserved with my life total under some other circumstances, but here I think it's okay. What are the odds you kill my or counter my Smuggler's Copter? Probably the odds are high, but I can't play around much. So I guess I can attack for 1. Probably there's not going to be some sort of flash creature to ruin my day. Okay, please don't censor me. Sort of hoping they just have like a card draw spell, removal. Okay, that's exactly what happened. And they're passing the turn. They might use a removal spell on our Cenote Scout. Oh, nothing! Okay, so they probably still have that removal spell. They probably still have... Ooh, and Kumena! Alright, we're going to prepare big time with this. Could they still have a counter spell? I'm definitely going to play Deeproot Pilgrimage here. I don't know if this is going to telegraph that I have Miscloaked Herald, but I don't care. It's like I'm not tapping the Cavern of Souls, so it sort of looks like I've got like counter. You're just going to counter my spell. Okay, that's. I mean, I'm not super thrilled about that, but at least I get to attack with my Copter. Draw another Cavern of Souls. I guess we'll just dump it. Hit for 3. Play. Is playing Miscloaked Herald here good? Our opponent could sweep the board. I don't even know what I'm playing around here. Okay, I'm just going to pass. Don't even know what I'm playing around. Opponent plays Fabled Passage, cracks it. To get an island. Jace, Reawakened. You can't cast spells during your first, second, or third turn. Draw a card, then discard a card. You may exile an online card with mana value 3 or less from your hand. If you do, it becomes plotted. That's weird. -6 until end of turn. Whenever you cast a spell, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. You may exile a card. Mana value 3 or less. Can you plot like a sorcery or something? I'm guessing so. Oh, they plot. Oh, I get to see what they plot. So, oh my goodness. So what is this flip? It's like exile target artifact or creature. That sounds terrible. Absolutely terrible for me. Becomes plotted. But you can't play it until your next turn, right? You can't just play this at instant speed willy-nilly. I guess we're going to attack with the copter and play like Mistcloaked Herald and Spelunker for 2. I guess we're just gonna figure it out. Okay, oh no, hold on. Let's just maximize damage. Right? I mean, it depends what I draw. No, let's maximize some damage. Okay, hold on. How much damage can this thing still do? You can exile a card with mana value 3 or less from your hand. Also, +1, draw then discard. Okay, I'm going to start off by playing Mistcloaked Herald. The reason I do that is if there's a counterspell in hand, I don't have to deal with it later. Okay, you can only exile 1 permanent. Maybe we're going to get rid of Jace if I'm allowed to. No, I'm not. Okay, if I'm not allowed to, I'm going to attack my opponent. And Spelunker for 2. Spelunker for 2. We find a Mutavault. We revealed Sentinel of the Nameless City. Put in our graveyard. No, we'll keep that one. Seems fine, even though it's not really on curve. Extinction for... Ooh, Extinction on 1 is strong. Very, very strong. Tibble. Okay, I think we're dead. We're dead. We're going to die a horrible, 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 horrible death. That's all I can say about this. I'll slam cards or whatever. Oh, what happened? Oh, they exiled the top card. Oh yeah, I should okay, so that I should not keep anything on top because I just gave it to my opponent for nothing. Okay, let's just concede this game. I don't even know what's in their deck. I don't care. Okay, it's some sort of Dimir control deck of some sort. So there's black cards, there's blue cards. We'll bring in probably the max counter spells. I'll probably take it. I like maybe they have Shieldred or something. Maybe I should have played on just to find out if they have Shieldred. Disdainful Stroke for their sweepers and probably top end. Actually, I don't know if Disdainful Stroke is that good. I'll get rid of... See, it's in these matchups, Mistcloaked Herald is useless. It's just stone cold useless. We don't need that card. I'm going to want to keep Sentinel. I'm going to take out the Witness Protections, only because I don't know if we need them. Like, I don't know what this deck is about. You can plot a 3-mana card or less. What does that mean? And I guess we'll get rid of maybe one Dispel. I don't need that many Dispels. Dispel might be better than I think it is. Still going to dump it. Or actually, you know what? Let's keep a Dispel, get rid of a Disdainful Stroke. Like, that card I don't know if we need. Like, I can counter a Extinction Event, Shieldred or something, but I'm not sure about that. Hand is fine. We'll keep. Turn 1 Cenote Scout. Nicely, Mystical Dispute actually hits the Jace pretty well, because if they want to play it on turn 4, I can still counter it. Mystical Dispute, we'll put that in the graveyard. We have enough of those. Thank you very much. I have enough. We get hit hard by Extinction Event. Hard. A lot of odd cards in this deck. All of Storm Giants pass. Another Mystical Dispute. Okay, get in for 2 damage. I'll just play Mutavault and pass. Actually, maybe I should have played the Island, because if they play Consider, I should consider disputing that thing. Yeah, I have so many of these. Let's just not even let our opponent get anything good. I don't think that punishes me that much. Field of Ruin. Attack for 2. I'll just slam the Sentinel. Hopefully there's no counterspell here. That Spree counterspell needs to be at 3. Oh, no, they got something. What is it? Counter target spell unless this controller pays 2? Oh, that sucks. I could have attacked with the Mutavault and held up Mystical Dispute and then play Sentinel the following turn with Mystical Dispute backup. Oh, well. You live and learn, I guess. I'm not really familiar with what the... Like, honestly, I don't even know this card exists. So I'm just sort of losing because I'm not familiar with the cards. Okay, we'll attack in for 4 and then pass. If they go Jace, we are prepared. They might suspect, like, a Mystical Dispute. Only because... I guess they could still have the counter magic for it. Just because we burned one really quickly early on. Wow, they brought a negate for our counter magic. All right, Jace Awakened resolves. Now what? They're going to plot something again. This is like Karn's Silex. What is this? Enters the battlefield tapped. Players can't pay life. X tap. Exile the Silex. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value X or less. Oh, that's terrible. Like, and by terrible, I mean it's not very good. We will just kill Jace and then pass the turn. Because it can't hit the... Destroy each non-land. Yeah, I can't even hit my Mutavault. I mean, they'll Field of Ruin the thing. Okay, I'll play this land just in case they play, like, Shieldred and I have to counter it with Mystical Dispute. Yeah, that completely resolves. Yep. I mean, this will prevent me from attacking for a few turns, though. The Karn Silex. Or sorry, not attacking. It will prevent me from deploying more stuff to the board. Oh, that I can deploy, though, so that's a good one. Okay, so we'll attack with our Cenote Scout. Mystical Dispute is getting worse and worse as time goes on. I think I can do that. Oh, wait a minute. Destroy each non-land... Oh, hits this card anyway. Okay, I screwed up. I should not have played that copter. I was like, oh, this destroys all the creatures. No, it doesn't. Okay, so they're just going to pop this thing instantaneously. Where is my Tishana's Tie Binder when I need it? Okay, we're going to counter this. And now you don't have so much counter backup, because I can pay for some of them. I can pay for this phantom interference thing. Oh, that was great. Okay, let's play cautiously, though. I'm not going to put that on the battlefield. I'm just going to play Kamena Tyrant of Vraska, pass. And then hopefully I can just hard cast this Deep-Root Pilgrimage, then start making babies. Kamena, you can make babies, can't you? Of course you can make babies. Make babies for me, Kamena. Make babies. Time to attack. I smell a Fatal Push, but that's fine, because we've got Dispel. As long as it's not followed up by that Spree counterspell. Okay, counter that. They might have that Mega counterspell. No, they do not. Okay, we get to attack, make a token, and then hopefully... Well, we need to rip like one Merfolk to really go wild with this, but hopefully this carry runs away with the game. What is this for so much mana? Seems like something's getting exiled from the graveyard. Deadly Cover-Up. Destroy all creatures. If evidence was collected, exile a card from an opponent's graveyard, then search their owner's library hand. Oh, you're going to look for all of them? Okay, what are you going to take from me? Well, we do have the Deep-Root Pilgrimage, so that at least can put a lot of power on the battlefield really quickly. Oh, they want to take Sentinel. They're scared of the Sentinel. But that's bad synergy. Taking all my Sentinels away. Oh, that was a good top deck. Wow, just when I was... Like, they could top deck so many counter spells here. The Spelunker! All right, let's see the power of this card. X is 4. Something Kamena Speaker couldn't do. Jade Light Spelunker also on the top. I'm just going to say no to all these, I guess. We'll just keep 2 Jade Light Spelunkers. Why not? Yeah, can have a big 5. That's a big, beefy creature right there. There is a problem with the Hall of the Storm Giant. If my opponent plays one land that's untapped, then they can start blocking with that thing. Okay, but they put a card on top of their library. Have another Spelunker. Just going to attack for 5, make a token. Hopefully the opponent did not keep a Sweeper on top. What is this? Oh, a small Shark Typhoon. Okay, so they Shark Typhoon. They draw the card on top. They make a chump block. Or I guess they're going to kill this thing. Oh, dig through time. Looks like I'm losing control. Okay, with that in mind, I definitely, what else could I change here? I definitely would have kept the Disdainful Stroke in the deck. That being said, pretty happy with this Jade Light Spelunker. I think it's a pretty cool card. Okay, they block with the Shark Typhoon. I don't even know what the point of playing this thing. They probably have a sweeper or something. But, you know, we got to maximize, assuming they don't have one. Okay, so what's on top? We have another Jade Light Spelunker. Okay, we'll just keep the Jade Light Spelunkers coming. I like Jade Light Spelunkers, apparently. And they like me. I don't even know if that's the right move anymore. Like, maybe I should dump some Jade Light Spelunkers, draw some lands, like, get some value out of it. Like, I can draw Mutavaults, you know? So, yeah, maybe this is wrong. Maybe I should be digging for, like, digging for lands. Okay, let's attack. Maybe for lethal? Or is this going to be, like, Shark Typhoon into removal spell? Oh, there you go. Gonna make some cheap chump blocks here. They obviously don't have a sweeper. Okay, take 6. Okay, maybe now I just draw a bunch of lands off of this. Or do I? Maybe I do nothing. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna pass the turn. They don't seem to have an answer, so there's no reason for me to play my Jade Light Spelunker. And like, I don't want to run into a counterspell or something. And mind you, if they play extraction, well, not extraction specialist, but what's the card? If they play the odd or even card, that can be problematic because I still have 2 tokens on the board. It isn't now because they gained some life from Cling to Dust, but it was lethal. Okay, and we won the game. Jade Light Spelunker! Just honestly was just like a big, just a 6, what is it, 5? Yeah, 5 mana, 5/5. Got the job done. Got the job done. Okay, we need this Disdainful Stroke for sure. Turns out, like, Graveyard Hate would be really good here. We're on the draw. Let's get rid of this Boseiju. Do they have any enchantments? Probably not. Outside of, like, Shark Typhoon, but I guess that doesn't count. So we'll just take out 1 land, because we're on the draw. I usually don't take the strategy, but I think in this game it will be appropriate. I'll just submit this. It's an attrition-based deck. Hand is good. Great question. Do we play our Spelunker so quickly? And I think the answer is yes. They seem to be more heavy on counter spells than anything else, too. Cavern of Souls, Merfolk, Spelunk it up. Could be a poor use of the Spelunker, could be. I have no idea yet. Okay, so them putting the Watery Grave into play tap means they don't have a counter spell for my... Well, they could have a counter spell for the Copter. I shouldn't completely rule it out. They could have Spell Pierce here, but it snap resolves. Oh, I didn't think about it. I should just play Deep-Root Pilgrimage there. I was like thinking about going for a much bigger turn here, but maybe that's just not worth it. Okay, so we'll start with playing a land. Try to get this thing online. Okay, it is online. I think this is going to work very favorably for us, because if they try to counter, or sorry, try to kill my Smuggler's Copter, we have the Dispel for it. Cenote Scout is very good. Trying to think. I guess we discard Breeding Pool and just pass the turn. And I'd be fine with keeping Cenote Scout in my hand just in case they have a sweeper or something. But here's where they can go Jace. It could be Jace time. Is it time for Jace, opponent? I'm surprised they didn't use Field of Ruin, unless they want to keep that for a fatal push in the future. Still nothing. Suspicious activity from our opponent. Okay, I will still crew Copter, Spelunker. We'll make babies. Make our Pilgrimage babies. Attack with Copter and our token. Incrementally get some damage in. Draw cards, discard cards. Ugh, this is not beautiful, to be honest. I'm going to keep the Cenote Scout in hand, though. I'll play another Cavernous Souls, Merfolk. Then at the right time, we can... Like, if they go Karn Silex next turn, I can just bounce it with Ottawar, and I'd be pretty fine with that. Turn 5. What do you got to show for all this? You want to play an Extinction event? I would be fine with that. Deadly Cover-Up. What would this even do? Oh, it's destroying all the creatures. Yeah, it just destroys all the creatures. So the funny thing, I can now bounce my Spelunker, replay it for like 1 billion, or like a pretty hefty amount. I think we can do that. I think that's decent value. I was losing everything anyway. Another Cenote Scout, but it's not nearly as powerful as my Spelunker is going to be. Just trying to figure out if I want to put a... Yeah, I probably want to put a green source in play. No, actually, I probably should just tap out here. And if I draw a Mutavault... Well, I guess if I draw a Mutavault, I'm not going to play it. All right, what do we get out of this? Breeding Pool. Sentinel is good. Just going to keep that on top. In fact, we can even draw it. I'll discard Bark Channel Pathway. I'll just play a Breeding Pool. Shocking myself. I have a feeling my life total doesn't matter as that much. Opponent has 4 cards left in hand. Did they mulligan? I don't feel like they have a whole lot of resources. Maybe I didn't pay attention. They mulliganed a bunch. We were just advantaged straight from the beginning. This is going to put an outrageous amount of pressure on them. I wonder, can they cast a Valky God of Lies? Is that even possible? Extinction for 1? Something's being paid for here. Hardcast Shark Typhoon? Oh, Meathook Massacre. Yes. For 3. Okay, so how is that going to be a pain for me for the rest of the game? They gain life. So if perpetually, whenever a creature dies, whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. Whenever my stuff dies, they're celebrating. Needed this a little bit earlier. I guess we're going to start off with a Sentinel, Crew Copter. I honestly would like a land here. It's not bad. I guess we'll dump a Cenote Scout, and then we're just going to hold up everything. I'm in a bit of an awkward spot. Like, the thing is, if the game goes on for too long, eventually your opponent plays some gigantic Shark Typhoon, and it's really demoralizing. Really, really demoralizing. Oops, I'm supposed to play Hexcatcher at end of turn and then make a token. Just wondering if I can just pass and wait, and then we just wait for the right moment. Oh, we have double Copter now too, if I want to go for it. Okay, let's start off with a Cenote Scout. We're not as vulnerable to sweepers right now, so I can empty my hand. It's not a big deal. Disdainful Stroke. Put in a graveyard. I don't know anymore. Yeah, no. Okay, no, we're going to keep that. And I guess we just... Okay, hold on. What can you Shark Typhoon for 4-ish? Okay, so I can guarantee that this is big. Big enough to beat up a Shark Typhoon in combat. Ah, clever. Okay, so we'll tap for a blue. Probably put a Hexcatcher in play in response to this. This actually is really good for us because our opponent's super tapped down now. Now I can easily attack with this Copter. So we're going to explore. I'll dispel this. If our opponent tries to fight a counter war here, which they do, we will now play our Hexcatcher, Crew Copter, and use 1 Copter token to counter this counter spell. Hopefully this doesn't all backfire on me. Actually, our opponent might be dead. I got like, what, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I have lethal on the battlefield. Game's over. Yeah, they've lost connection to the game. I don't know. Okay, sometimes people lose connection just randomly at that moment, and then they come back 5 minutes later and say, sorry. Let's see if it's that case, and let's see if it's that case today. So it turns out it was an absolute shame resignation. They resigned, made me wait, what, 10 minutes or something? Anyway, they resigned, disconnected, they didn't come back, and we won the match. So that was round 4. And we should say that Spelunker. Yeah, Jade Light Spelunker was very impressive here. Could be a 1-drop, also could be like a 5/5 creature that draws a bunch of lands off the top. Anyway, so that was round 4. Let's move on to round 5. We're here for round 5. I lost the die roll. Now we're up against a Giganta deck, which could mean anything. I sort of want to keep it because we do have Mistcloaked Herald. We have Jade Light Spelunker, so if we draw like 1 more land, we can use the Spelunker to potentially go get something, like get more lands for us in some way. It's still pretty risky. I'm going to mulligan this. Okay, this hand's a lot better. I've got an actual curve here, so I'm going to keep this. And I guess we're going to dump the Breeding Pool because this deals the most damage to me by far. And I don't want to deal damage to myself. Our opponent starts off with Island Pass. What does that mean in a Giganta deck? Island Pass means something incredibly specific. Is it Scissors? I think it means it's Scissors. It's the Ensoul Artifact deck, so they might go turn to Artifact, like Ensoul Artifact, and then kill us. Instead, they're passing to their second main phase, which means nothing. All right, Steam Vents, a little bit close. Okay, now I don't know what this is. I'm guessing. Oh, wait a minute. Is this nothing being played on turn 1 and turn 2? Does Creativity play any of these cards? Okay, I'm going to Breeding Pool, shock myself, just in case I need to keep this Boseiju or Otawara, because now I don't think it's the Scissor deck. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Oh, what is going on here? Okay, at least we have a second Smuggler's Copter, potentially for the future. Although I'm very likely to slam the... Okay, it is a Scissor deck. What is going on here? Cryptic Coat. Okay, now I regret shocking, because that could be my demise. We can Boseiju the Cryptic Coat, though. That is absolutely an option. So we're just going to attack for 1, and then I'll play this Tide Channel Pathway, play Sentinel, and then pass. And hopefully we can race. But they're going to... I guess they attack in first, but we can attack back. Yeah, I really wish we didn't take that 2 damage over here. It was preventable. Okay, here's... Just had like a really slow start. Super ultra slow start. Does it give +1? Yeah, it gives +1/+0. Fidelian Epicure has been found. I cannot block. Yet. Can I be in a position to blow them out? I guess what we can do is play like Copter, attack with both things. Because they can't make a good block here. I sort of want to be able to keep up both Smuggler's Copter and the Boseiju on this Cryptic Coat. So I don't think we're going to play a map token just yet. But if I map, I have the ability to be bigger than this thing. Whatever. Okay. I'll just figure it out. Well, you know what I can do? I can just not play Copter. I could map, play Botanical Sanctum, hold Boseiju and Otawara. That works for me too. Okay, so let's... Yeah, I guess we're not going to play Copter here. Sort of hoping that there's something on top. There's Mistcloaked Herald. We'll put that in the graveyard. It's just not good enough for me. And this might look a little sus. I don't know how they're going to interpret this. Might look a little sus. Okay, you're going to discard a card. They found Torch the Tower. Or what does that mean? What's the Torch the Tower? They didn't discard that. Where'd that come from? Why is it revealed? Oh, that's... oh, sorry. It was revealed off of Inti, so they can play it this turn. Which, whatevers. Whatever. So there's a world where... Okay, how are they going to do their stuff? Whenever you attack, you may discard a card. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature. It gains trample until end of turn. Sure. They discarded the Torch the Tower. Interesting. Okay, so they don't have that. They have a Smuggler's Copter coming up. A bit awkward. This gets buffed up to a 5/4, but we all know I have Boseiju, which I don't think they can interact with. And I guess I just have to hope that they don't have another piece of removal. I mean, they could. Nothing that says that they can't have another piece of removal. So yeah, I can Boseiju the Cryptic Coat, which is good because this is the thing that has Ward 2. So now it is very blockable and it is a 4/4, but I have a 4/5, which works out very much in our favor. Oh god, they shocked themselves with the Steam Vents. It's probably bad news, but I have no choice. Okay, so they're going to play maybe another Cryptic Coat? Oh, you know what? They had they could have actually bounced the coat back to their hand. I totally forgot about that. I guess they have another coat in hand. Or we'll see what they do. I have no idea. You know what? I completely didn't play around that, though. So we're going to take 1 damage from the trample. They've got a case of the Filched Falcon. That seems good. Smuggler's Copter is good here. Spyglass, okay. We are hopelessly behind. That's Spell Pierce. That was deadly. They seem to always have it too. I feel like now when my opponent has like a blue mana up, I should just like play a creature, play another 1-drop. Like, don't even make a good use of my mana. Okay, this is a very nice card. This is great, in fact. The only problem being how to deal with all this other stuff that's going to completely outclass me. So we can get Copter in play, get Deeproot Pilgrimage. But we're not going to have any good blocks because when they attack with Copter discard, they can use Inti to like just basically buff up their Copter by quite a bit. Well, anyway, I don't lose anything. I should have played maybe Otawara. You know what I could have done? Okay, what I could do is actually use the Mistcloaked to crew the Copter, and then it's big enough to maybe block the Copter. Okay, hold on. So I'm not going to attack. Let's go to second main. I have a different plan because I have a map. So let's try to get this thing big enough, because when we crew the Copter, we're going to make another token, which we can use to crew the Copter later. And we'll play our Otawara, because what's pretty important is that we keep drawing gas. I want to make sure there's gas on top of our library. Cenote Scout, we'll keep that. It's better than nothing. Okay, now they have to be very careful what they attack with here, because our Copter can basically block almost everything. The Royal Scions! That's a sick piece of tech. I've never seen that in this deck. Never. What is it? First Strike and Trample? Yeah, First Strike and Trample. Well, oh, what's going on here? Okay, so I guess they're going to Inti, put a counter on the Smuggler's Copter if they can. Okay, they discarded an Inti. They discard an Inti. Inti gets, I think, revealed. Yeah, another Inti is revealed, so that was pretty good for us. We get a counter. I don't understand. How did they get the counter? Okay, whenever you attack, you may discard a card. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature against trample. Oh, so that's the only circumstance that they get a counter, is when you attack and discard from Inti. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, exile the top card. So whenever you discard from anything, you have that option. So if I let this through, I take 8. Do I have any chance of coming back into this game? Probably not. But if I don't block... no, I wish I kept this thing. But I don't have anything else to do otherwise. Okay, I'm just going to have to take the 8, and then we pray to the gods. We pray to the gods that I draw. I don't even know what I want to draw. I sort of need to play... I need like 2 spells. And we've already used up our Boseiju. Like, there is a world maybe I could get back if I played Cenote Scout, drew Boseiju. Actually, who am I kidding? Probably the best line was actually to block Copter. Oh, it doesn't matter. We're just too far behind. When that first Copter got hit by Spell Pierce, that hit us way too hard. And then they had Cryptic Code out. No, it wasn't good. I'm just going to play on as a formality for a little while, but this is pretty much a done deal. Maybe this is not an all-in Scissor deck. No, it has to be. It still has all the regular stuff. It's got all the regular weirdos. They just had a really slow start. And I could really use that 6 life right now. Be at 6. Shocking myself really punished me. I just didn't think they were a Scissor deck. They didn't play anything on turn 1 or turn 2. They have so many things to do with their deck. So many things. Witness Protection. That would have been great. Anyway, okay, we can concede. Seen enough. Okay, that being said, this is a great matchup. It's a very, very good matchup. I think Eaten by Piranhas hits them really hard. You hit Inti, you hit everything, really. Now, his Mystical Dispute, I don't usually put... I usually don't bring in counter spells here. I just like to play with spot removal against their creatures. I just bring in the frogs, side out non-frog-like things. Like, I think Jadelight Spelunker is going to be a little worse here. I think I actually like the Mistcloaked Herald so that I can... Like, this is almost the point. You play turn 1 Mistcloaked Herald, and even if they play Videl and Epicure, you can play, like, Deeproot Pilgrimage and just start going, going off, so to say. Do I want Mystical Dispute? Because they did show me... They could have Ensoul. They showed me Cryptic Coat. Those aren't... They showed me the Royal Scions! But then again, most of the removal, and even still a lot of their threats are not going to be blue. Inti, the Epicure, the Smuggler's Copter. So maybe we're just going to leave it as it is. I could bring in Tidebinder Mage. Is Tidebinder Mage better than, say, another 2 Spelunker just to tap down Inti? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, I'm just going to submit this. We're on the play. Maybe on the draw, I'll bring in Tidebinder Mage instead of Spelunker. See, Spelunker, this is the type of matchup where like a 1x creature wouldn't do so well. Oh, do you know what I could bring in? Probably Dispel over Spelunker. Just have something for like spot removal. Like they have to have spot removal. His hand's good. Keep. I'll even play Mistcloaked Herald because I think that would be a better use of taking advantage of Deeproot Pilgrimage turn 2. Yeah. So like no matter what they play on turn 1, we can attack with Deeproot Pilgrimage. I got Spyglass. I got a map token. All right, let's go. Let's get busy. Next turn I can play like Cenote Scout and Witness Protection. So now by making these tokens, I mean, even if they play Ensoul Artifact, like big deal. I got tokens to defend myself for at least a little while. Okay, our opponent plays a mountain. Oh, Inti, okay. Inti, so the Inti plus Spyglass. Not a bad spot. I will most certainly Witness Protection the Inti. I do not want to deal with this card. And they did not want to discard anything. Interesting. They're saving it for later. They like their cards in hand. We have a lot of Witness Protections. We need... Our opponent needs protection. How do we save them? I think I can freely just attack with these creatures. If they block with Inti, then we play Witness Protection. Or Eaten by Piranha. Maybe we play... No, I can play a Witness Protection. I don't have to spend Eaten by Piranhas. Because if I draw another land, I would really like to play Sentinel plus a Witness Protection. But we have another Witness Protection, so it doesn't matter. Opponent's probably like really suspicious. What does this mean? Attacking with everything like this. Well, it means I'm going to give you a little protection after the fact. That's what it means. I guess they could also assume maybe I'm playing with some sort of pump spell with green, because I do have the 1 green mana up. So that's a possibility. If they look my deck list up online, this card is not in it. So they could assume that, you know, it's a whole new deck list. But even then, if they look, they could see that there's still Witness Protection here. And we are using it. Here you go. I wonder if they go Cryptic Coat, what do I do? Probably same thing. Probably attack with everything again. So anyway, this Mistcloaked Herald is already doing exactly what I wanted this card to do. Exactly. This is the whole point of this card. To be able to just freely attack and make an extra token every single turn. Incrementally more value. Is this Royal Scions time? Nope. Okay, not Royal Scions time. Another Deeproot Pilgrimage. Nice. Nice. I think, though, that I'm not going to play it. I'm going to play Sentinel of the Nameless City. It feels like our opponent's holding up interaction of some sort. So it could be Counterspells, could be Mystical Dispute. I'm not sure. Oh, they want to be on defense now. You want to be on defense, do you? Maybe I'm just going to attack here, then. Is there any benefit to making you trade the Spyglass and this? I guess there's less blockers for my Sentinel in the future. Sentinel of the Nameless City. Okay, this thing dies. That's fine. Can you get any benefit out of this? Oh, you want to bounce your creature back? Sure. It's a funny line. Checks out. I'll play Sentinel of the Nameless City, which does quite well in this matchup. So, I mean, that was a really horrible turn for them. I mean, I guess their hand is full of air or something. That was a really, really, really bad. I mean, they tapped out to put their card back in their hand. Okay, so Scissors has arrived, which is still not doing very well here, because we can just chump block. But I guess the point is to be able to block the Sentinel. So we're going to start with Witness Protection here, and it will just turn that into a 1/1, and then we'll play our Deeproot Pilgrimage. I feel like I'm doing things in the wrong direction. I should have cracked my map token to see if we would draw a Mutavault. What were we drawing this turn? Hexcatcher is good. Or not, we weren't drawing it, but we would know. That would basically lock the game up. Okay, so on the draw, yeah, I think I'm going to bring in the Dispels over these Spelunkers. I think 1/1 on the draw is going to be really weak. And also, Dispel can counter things like, it can counter the Shrapnel Blast. I believe that's instant speed. Or at least some of those blasts are instant speed. Okay, so we will submit this. And again, maybe Tidebinder Mage is good on the draw. I don't know. Because they can just kill it. His hand's honestly not that impressive, but good enough. Good enough to keep. I would not normally be impressed by these creatures, but it can be backed up by a Hexcatcher, so I will be impressed. So even if they have a burn spell, another miscard. So the problem with this type of hand is it could be really good, or it can be stone cold trash. Like this Hexcatcher has to live. It just has to. If it doesn't live, this whole hand's terrible. This whole hand is so bad. Oh, I hope they go land pass. Go land pass. Okay, whatever. If it's Inti, that's okay. I'll just witness protection and we play another Mistcloaked Herald. Oh, a Copter. Awkward, that's all I'll say. Get a Kumena. So what's next? Inti? Well, I can't use any of my mana properly here, so we might as well just spew a bunch of creatures on the battlefield. Oops, no, don't play this. Don't play that. Play our Mistcloaked Herald. Attack for 1. And then depending what happens next turn, we can go like Witness Protection, Hexcatcher. I'm assuming an Inti is about to be played here, which is awkward. This Copter can attack for a lot and also dig for gas, which is very good for our opponent. Oh, Cryptic Coat. Okay, that is... It's funny. I used to take this line myself. Now I feel ridiculous for not playing my Hexcatcher. Okay, the Copter attacks. Now I'm wondering, what do I do? Do I Witness Protection the Coat? Because they're going to attack me for 6 next turn. They discard an Inti. That's a sign of strength. So the best thing that we could possibly draw is not that. So we can attack for 6. Oh, no. Okay. What are all my options here? If I Witness Protection this, I have to pay 2 because that's Ward 2. But it would lose all of its abilities and just become a 1-1. Or, sorry, be a 2-1 because of Cryptic Coat. And then I could play nothing else. They still attack me in the air with Copter. They probably still attack me for 4. Now, alternatively, we could go Kumena, Tyrant of Araska, attack for 1, draw a card, then next turn... Yeah, I don't want to get hit for 6. I can attack for 3, play Hexcatcher. If they have no removal, I could probably race. It's probably what I can make happen here. Okay, Ward 2, we will pay for it. Maybe we even leave one Mistcloaked Herald up, because it's a 2-1, right? Yeah, it's a 2-1. Okay, we will be prepared to block if I'm allowed to. I should leave up 2. Yeah, our life total is so much more important than theirs at the moment. Oh, there is a problem. The Cryptic Coat can get bounced back to hand and then replayed later, but that's pretty mana intensive. Unless they go Inti, Crew Copter, attack, we block. They can still bounce Cryptic Coat back to hand if they have 1 more mana. Okay, there's the Inti. Man, turn 2 Hexcatcher would have been much better than all my other options. If we can only counter that Coat. But I think they only went for the Coat because we were tapped out. Otherwise, I don't think they would have went for that line. You want to attack? I'll block. That's the whole point of holding up all these idiots. Oh, I see. They have the option to attack and put a counter on this thing. But don't put a counter on this thing. Okay, that's interesting. I think I'm still going to double block, though. It's going to be worth it. And we get... Do we get rid of the Cryptic Coat? I guess not. We don't get rid of the Cryptic Coat. Well, now that I'm thinking, okay, so if you attack for 6, can I race this? Gonna discard. I'm assuming they're gonna pump this thing up. Okay, we've got some Inti triggers. Yeah, and the counter is going over there. Okay, so I take 6. I go to 9. Next turn. The situation just seems bad. I'm just gonna take the damage and then hope I can race with a Hexcatcher and this and my army of Mutavaults and stuff. You have another Inti. You have a Scissor. Are you going to Shrapnel Blast me? I love how in these aggro matchups, I'm always finding my breeding pool. I just find all of them. All of my breeding pools. Every prowess matchup I show. I have so many other lands. Oh, they got rid of the Smuggler's Copter. This means I must be dead. Really, really dead. It's the only explanation for this. Botanical Sanctum, just on time. So, some good news is we're not... Well, we could be dead immediately. I'm assuming there's like a Shrapnel Blast in our future. I guess I'm going to attack for 2. Hold up Mutavault and Mistcloaked Herald for my opponent's stuff. And make a block with Hexcatcher. And I'll play the Botanical Sanctum so I don't deal too much damage to me. I gotta hold up one of these I'm assuming I'm dead. Because I don't think they would have so aggressively play Shrapnel Blast unless they had another land, or sorry, another Shrapnel Blast or something. It's just how I'm interpreting this. Shrapnel Blast can be played at instant speed. Instant speed. It should be noted, like, this game might have been completely different if these were Kumena speakers. I mean, I took out the Spelunking because I thought that Mistcloaked Herald is better than Kumena Speaker. But if these are all Kumena Speakers, actually, we might have been winning this race. Because instead of attacking for 1, I would have been attacking for 6 or 9, racing all of this. So maybe that is now the disadvantage. I don't know, maybe that's the disadvantage of Spelunking. I guess I can't have everything. Ensoul is a deck that's around, but it's not one of the top decks. Yeah, now in retrospect, I really should have that Tidebinder Mage. Just at least to tap down Inti so that it cannot... what's it called? Tap down Inti to make sure that it doesn't crew copter. I think I found another Inti. I'm getting really lucky with their Inti draws. Okay, so we're going to make our gang block. We're going to attempt our gang block. It is going to fail miserably. I can only assume that our opponent has like a, what's going on here? Choose creature to block. Oh, it still can't be blocked? Okay then. Guess that's my only creature I'm blocking. So I'm dead in 2 turns. So what happens here? Equip creature gets. Oh, it gets. Yeah. If something gets something, then it just has it like perpetually. So I'm sure there's a shrapnel blast here or something. Okay, yeah, that's over for us. We need a little bit more life. A little bit more life. Also, maybe the deck could have been just a little bit better. All right, let's get back to the deck. I thought, to be honest, Mistcloaked Herald and Jadelight Spelunker were actually amazing. I actually really like them. I don't know which one is better than the other. Certainly, I'm not going to replace C-Note Scout. Probably, I really like the Spelunker in some of those games, but like in that last one, I really could have used Kamena Speaker. And Kamena, like honestly, most of my games, I really desperately need my 1-drops to be more important on turn 1 than my 1-drops being more important on turn like 5, 6, or 7, even though that was really convenient in some of those games. I actually this card really did impress me. I think it's actually a really good card in the deck. I mean, arguably, maybe this should be in the deck instead of Sentinel of Nameless City. Although Sentinel does so much better on defense, like by turn 3, than Jadelight Spelunker would. Like this thing's gonna be somewhere between a 2/2 and a 1/1 a good chunk of the time instead of a 3/3. Like probably averages out to be a 2/2. But anyway, I was impressed. I was also impressed with the Mistcloaked Herald, and so now I'm like, I thought I was getting close to a list where I thought, we've solved this already, but I guess I haven't. And there's still a little bit of work to do. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to take a lot less time to playtest this deck because I have to start moving to Modern soon. Modern Horizons 3 is coming out, or I guess it is out already. Yeah, I'm probably going to replace we won! Okay, we took out Mistcaller. Its best matchup is Amalia, and one of our matches we lost in 3. Sometimes our opponent like top deck for the win, and also we won one of them. So that is a sign that we do not need the Mistcaller in our deck. It's a sign we don't need a Mistcaller, and maybe we should look towards something like Mistcloaked Herald instead of Mistcaller. So I'd be interested in playtesting this a little bit more. So it does trigger Pilgrimage. Downside is it's only a 1/1, but it's unblockable. And I will say, actually, there's something interesting about the dynamic about this completely unblockable creature. This plus a Lord seems to be worth it. So if I go like turn 1 this thing, turn 2 Lord, and attack for 2, and it's clean, then that makes the Lords a lot better. Like the value of my Hexcatcher definitely went up now that like Mistcloaked Herald was in my deck. And maybe there's a world, because Mistcloaked Herald is not the only one. There's like a Triton Shore Stalker or something like that. It's another 1-mana 1/1 can't be blocked. Is there a world where, maybe is that all the 1-drops? And then if you play with the Lord, like what's it called? Mistbinder would be so much better. Merfolk Mistbinder. So like Merfolk Mistbinder, this Lord sucks, mostly because if you go turn 1 play, or even turn 2 play this Lord, like you're usually not getting in any damage because the creatures are still too small to be able to attack into your opponent's like 3/3s, 2/4s, and so on. But if they're unblockable, then they are. Like you don't care because the creatures will go in anyway. So anyway, it's something to experiment with. Maybe I'll make a very last-minute switch to either Mistcloaked Herald or Jadelight Spelunker. I don't know which one yet, but I definitely think both of these things are better than Mistcaller, and I'm going to replace it with one of them. Anyway, if you like this stuff, hit the like button and all that good jazz. Thank you very much for watching, my fish fam, and I will see you next time.